I'm just going to kick us off in prayer. That's always a good place to start. So, dear Lord, I thank you that we have the opportunity just to come together and have so much fun, to sing your praise and just to hang out and just do life together. So, as we come together tonight, I just want to say thanks for all that you have done. But before these guys go off stage, maybe they do, it's been a couple of people's birthdays this week. So I am super keen. So all those people who've had a birthday, yeah, everyone, you can stand up for a moment. All those people who've had a birthday so far, this is for you, but I don't get a cake for you guys, but there's been two key leaders who've had a birthday this week, and that was Lindsay and Nick. You guys give them a round of applause. Because I'm so rich, I got a massive birthday cake for you guys, and we're going to sing the happy birthday. So you guys ready? You guys ready? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lindsay. There you are. Woo. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. I haven't made it to Nick yet. Hip hip. Hip hip. There we go. Awesome. So before you guys grab a seat, you guys just move forward close to the stage. I don't want to look really far behind in front of the stage to see you guys. So move forwards as close as you guys can. Okay, awesome. So any youth that had a birthday, I'm sorry I was unaware of it, but happy birthday to you guys too. But tonight we're going to be talking about personal witness. It's a term that we tend not to use so much these days, but if I was you guys, I'll be asking myself the question, if I can get the clicker working, what is personal witness? What does it mean? How do we use it? Who do we use it? And when do we use it? Whoa. Okay, slide. No, cool. Okay, so personal witness, let's break it down to two parts. So we've got the first part, which is personal. So everyone knows what personal means. So personal is yourself, you, who you are. And a witness is someone who gives evidence or shows evidence through what they do. And so that can be verbal evidence, that can be physical evidence. So if we put these things together, that's a video, we're going to play that later. There we go. Spoiler. Anyway, we get to that. So, okay, so personal witness. What is it? Why do we do it? How can we do it? Is it hard to do? And, where do we do it? Okay, so personal is yourself. Witness is to show or testify, to give evidence. And if we put that together, because I'm really good with maths and words, someone who shows evidence or proves something. Now, if we put that in a Christian kind of context, that is someone who is a Christian, and he shows that he is a Christian by the evidence of his life. So this is not just coming up and going, hey, have you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? This is the gospel. That is not necessarily personal witness. It's how you journey your life. So it's not through just what you say, but it's the way you work your life. So why do we do it? So when I got this topic, I struggled to try and work out where do I start with the topic of personal witness, and I always thought the Bible was the best place to start. So we've got a passage on the screen. Now this passage gets used quite a lot, because there's so much meat into this passage, but I'll read it out to you guys. So this is Matthew 26, 16 to 20. I love this passage. So then the 11 disciples went to Galilee, the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. When they saw him, Jesus, they worshipped him, but some denied. Then Jesus came to them and said, all authority on earth and in heaven has been given to me, referring to Jesus. And he says, therefore go, make disciples of all nations, baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and teach them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I will be with you always to the end of the age. So the key part of this passage to me is, so the first word is therefore, but the main emphasis is on the word go. So Jesus is really saying go. You have to go and make disciples. You have to go and tell other people about Christianity. You can't sit here and expect you to be a good Christian if you guys are sitting here. So Jesus is putting a lot of emphasis on go, and we need to do that as well. We can't sit on our hands. He says, go make disciples of all nations. So make disciples from all schools, make disciples from all family groups, all cultures, This is not talking about your American white guy. This is not talking about your African tribes. This is talking about all the nations on the earth. We need to go and spread the good news, the teaching, and we need to become disciples. So Jesus is referring to the 11 disciples at that point in time. But as soon as you become a Christian, I tell you what, you guys are now disciples. So now you guys have to go and make more disciples. So that is basically personal witnessing in kind of like a quick term, but there's so much more to it. So who here reckons youth group would be awesome with like 400 people? What about 1,000 people? Okay, awesome. I was thinking how awesome youth group would be. We can get some awesome guest speakers like Justin Bieber. So we can get So we can get down the bottom right hand of the screen. You see there's another church that has a massive worship team and a massive people go and worship. And I reckon that would be so awesome if we can get to that stage. What kind of games you can play? We can play laser tag. We've got that later on this year. But we can play baseball. We're going to need a field like that if we start growing our youth group crazy big, which I'm so keen for. So I'm super keen to grow this youth group big. So when we make disciples, we're going to multiply, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. The awesome thing about this youth group here is that we are here to serve you guys. We're not here to serve each other as leaders. We're here to serve you guys. We want to help you guys as much as we can. So that's why we do teaching. That's why we do music and worship. That's why we do pod groups, and that's why we love you guys. That's why we journey our lives through with you guys, because we want to equip you and teach you and train you as much as we can so you guys are able to bring other people to us, and we can do the same. So use us. By all means, use us. So I was wondering, who is the one person in this auditorium, put it up in your hand, if you're able to bring 999 people here so we can go over 1,000? Okay, you guys must have a lot of people on Facebook. Realistically, who's able to bring 100 friends to youth next week? Who's able to bring 50 friends to youth group? Nice. Okay, realistically, who's able to bring one friend to youth group this year? Just one. That's all it takes, just one. Awesome. So, because I'm really good at math, I decided to make a little chart up for you guys. So, we got all the grades, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, because I'm good at counting. And we got down the sides. So if each of you guys bring one friend per year, and I just say we're going to have to start with the most important grade of all, the most awesomest grade of all, and that is obviously grade 7. So there are more than 10 grade 7 people, but I'm just going to stick with the number 10 because it's easy to add up, because I like taking shortcuts. So let's say we have 10 year 7 people here right now. If they bring one friend by the end of the year, we'll have 20 year 7s. At the end of next year, so those 20 bring another friend, we'll have 40. You guys see where this is going? So year 9, what is it? Year 9, 80, year 10, 160, year 11, 320, year 12. Okay, so I reckon if we had 640 year 12s, imagine the football game we'll play. Man, that would be so awesome. So it is possible to actually increase our number massively and have so much fun. But I reckon it doesn't stop there how amazing this is going to be. So if you get 640 year 12s, and you also have 320 year 11s, you have 160. You guys see where this is going? That adds up to 1,270 youth that we can have here on a Friday night. Who is keen for that? Now, I tend to be a pessimistic, so I tend to be very cautious when I think about things, so I don't want to always jump to a conclusion. There's nothing wrong with that. You're either pessimistic or optimistic, who always sees the good things in things. It's just who I am and who other people are. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? 50% of people you invite don't come back to youth. Now, that might be realistic, so sometimes you guys bring a friend and he or she just finds it uncomfortable and doesn't come back to youth. So let's do the exact same thing, but we're doing with 50% don't come back. Okay, so year 7, most important, that's where we're going to start, year 7. We have 10, so they invite 10 more people, but 5 of them don't come back, so then we've got 15. Year 8, we've got 22. Year 9, we've got 33. Goes on and on and on, till we got to year... Yeah, you can cut people in half. It's easy, man. So in year 12, if 50% of the people don't come back each year, we will still end up with 113.9. I'm going to round that up to 100, and maybe someone's lost a leg. I don't know. Maybe it's we got 114 people in year 12 that can come with a dropout rate of 50%. How realistic is that? How realistic is that? Quite realistic. So imagine if we add all those up, our youth group can grow to 321.67. So we'll just go 321 teens within 6 years. At the moment here, we got 75 to 80 kids. So if we do that to mass this year, right now, so we say we have 80 kids, you all bring a friend at the end of this year, and 50% dropout, that will equal to 120 youth that we can have at the end of the year. So I really want to encourage you guys to bring a friend along. Just all we have to do is just ask them, hey, come to youth, we play some awesome games. And this is all in the package of personal witnessing. So the next thing, well, talking about bringing a friend along, there's a couple places that you guys can really be a personal witness. It isn't something that happens on a Friday night and it ends, and then it starts again on a Sunday if you come to church, then it ends when you leave the door. It is something that needs to be your whole entire life. You need to live up your whole entire life as a Christian. So we got school witnessing. Most of you guys go to school. Most of you guys spend a lot of time at school. I hated school, but I spend a lot of time at school. So I want to ask you guys a question. Do your friends know that you're a Christian? If your friends don't know you're a Christian, how are you going to have the encouragement and just the drive to even invite them to into youth group if you can't even say, hey, I'm a Christian? How are you going to be willing to say, hey, come to a Christian youth group? So I really want to encourage you guys to put yourself out there. And you don't have to say it, but do it through your actions. Another question I want to ask you guys is, why do they know that you're a Christian? Is it because you've tried to shove the gospel down their throat, or is it because you have shown God's love towards them? Personal witnessing is not about talking. It is about talking. It is about what you physically do with your body. It's how you live your life. It's who you hang out with. It's the words that you say. It is the emotions that you express. It's how you react in a situation. Do you react or do you act? It's all these things come down to personal witnessing. So who are your friends at school? If you guys are a Christian and you guys are hanging out with friends who are going to bring you down, I have to ask you, is that the best choice to be? So who do you hang out with? And who are you nice to at school? Are you nice to the super sporty, the guys who play the guitar, like James, the super cool guys? Or are you guys with the perfect teeth? Or are you guys nice to everyone? Or are you guys nice to most people except for people that you hate? I know it sounds contradicting, but you guys, as a Christian, we're called to love everyone, not just the sporty type and the people with the nice fancy teeth. I have really terrible teeth, so I asked you guys to be nice to me. And I just kept thinking, there's so many passages that come up in the Bible about personal witnessing that I just can't skip, and I can't add to it because there's just so much in there that speaks truth. So 2 Colossians 8 and 9. For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, so Jesus Christ, he had everything. He was the creator of the world. He's up in heaven. He had everything. Yet for your sake, for our sake, everyone in this room, everyone on earth, he became poor. He became human and he died. So this is the gospel. So that through his poverty, so through what he gave up, we might become rich. So I really want to challenge you guys. What are you doing with that unconditional love that God has given you guys? Are you guys holding on to that unconditional love, or are you passing that on to other non-believers, other Christians, other non-Christians, or are you guys holding on to it? You have so freely been given unconditional love by God, and you guys are called to go pass that on to someone else. Throat's getting a little bit dry. So another thing to do as well, to keep this in mind, 1 Peter 3:15, man, this guy was awesome. But in your heart, receive Christ as Lord. This is the important part. Always prepared to give an answer to everything, or to everyone who asks you to give a reason for the hope that you have inside you. But do this with gentleness and respect. So always be ready to give an answer to why you're a Christian. Give an answer to why we see life in a different view. Give us an answer to why we have hope in our life after this one. It is so, so important. So I got a chance to catch up with a couple of leaders earlier on this week, and we've got a video that's going to play. So I got a chance just to ask a couple of leaders to give us what we like to call as our testimony. As Christians, we use words that don't really make sense and confuses people, but I like to say our story. So I got a chance to catch up with some leaders and ask them their story. How did they become a Christian? So if you guys want to look up on the screen, and the video should start playing.
Hey, how's it going? Don't mind me, I was just rocking out like I normally do, You dig? Anyway, like I was saying, I got a chance to catch up with a couple of leaders earlier this week, and I got them to tell me about their story and how they become a Christian, so let's check out and see how it went. Oh, man, that was awkward. Anyway, I'm back to rocking out. Okay, so let's see how well this goes with people trying to tell me their story. Oh, here's one. Hey, Jonty.
Oh, hey Blake, what's
Jonty,
up?
grab a seat. How you been, man?
Yeah, good. What's up?
I just want to know, tell me your testimony. Tell me your story.
All right. Well, it's this really awesome story, right? So I was cruising on this ship, and we were just going somewhere, and then it got massively stormy. There's like waves and lightning and thunder, and getting real crazy. Then everyone on the ship starts getting crazy. They're like, "Whoa, man, what's going on?" And then I'm like, "What's happening? What's happening, guys?" And then they chucked me off the ship. I don't know how or why. It was real weird. And then like this big fish, probably like the biggest fish I've ever seen. It swam up and it ate me, and I was like, "Man, look, I don't know. This fish ate me, but I was still alive. I was chilling in its guts, just kind of hanging out for a few days, and then it spat up on me on the beach." And
wait. I've heard this story before. I'm pretty sure this is the story of Jonah in the Bible.
Yeah, all right. It's the story of Jonah in the Bible.
Tell me now. Oh, hey, Michael. Hey. Want to jump in?
Oh, hey, man. How you doing?
Good. Yourself? How you been?
Oh, yeah, nice, man.
Hey, I was just wondering, do you want to just give me your testimony? How you became a Christian?
All right. It's a pretty good story, actually. I was just chilling at my house one day, then my uncle Bilbo, he just sort of up and left, and he left me this ring, actually. And yeah, I was just like, oh, that's a nice ring, and I didn't really know what to do with it. And then this wizard came along, just like, what? And he's like, no, you need to destroy that ring because it's real bad. And I'm like, it seems like a nice ring, it's not doing anything. But he seemed to know what he was talking about, and so I'm just like, all right, I'm kind of small though, so we might have to grab some other people to help me out. And so we went and got these other cool guys, and they're pretty sweet. And I'm not sure why, but like this other guy, he's like,
dude, just stop there. I've heard this before.
I haven't even told you,
Dude,
like,
this
all we
is
had to do
Lord of
was
the
turn
Rings.
into-
This is Lord of the Rings, isn't it? I've seen the movie. It's Lord of the Rings.
well,
To be honest, man, just
alright,
tell
it
me.
is.
Tell me
Alright.
your testimony.
I wasn't being honest before, man. That was Lord of the Rings. I didn't have to throw a ring into the fires of Mordor.
Kind of do that, man.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, could you just tell me your testimony?
My testimony.
Hmm.
Okay, well, like as lots of people know, I'm not a very good singer and I'm scared of crowds. And there was this one time there was this family gathering and they really, really, really wanted me to sing, but I was like, no way am I going to go sing. So I decided at the time that it was a very good idea to go and run away. And so I ran and I was running for my life away from my family, and then I was going through this forest with all these big trees, and then I fell down this hole, and I don't know where the hole came from, but it seemed to go forever, and I'm falling and I'm falling and I'm falling into like the dark depths, and it smelled like dirt and rotting wood, and then I fell into this water, and then this water just like
Wait.
was
Stop right there. This is Alice in Wonderland, isn't it?
yes.
Okay, tell me how did you really become a Christian?
I grew up in a Christian home with a Christian family.
Awesome.
And that was Lord of the Rings. I didn't have to throw a ring into the fires of Mordor.
Kind of do that, man.
Yeah. Well, really, it was just leaders who believed in me.
Sweet. Just tell me your story.
All right, real deal.
Yes.
Awesome youth camps.
Sweet.
So that's our awesome acting skills, man. We're really good actors here as leaders. So that is an example of what the first one was an example of what a bad testimony, a bad story is. And the last part was an example of a good testimony, a good story. So I really want to encourage you guys just to be aware that some people are going to ask you, why do you have hope? What is the reason that you have hope in this life for the next? So that is something that you need to keep in mind. So there's some tips we have for sharing your story. So it's not about who got more interesting stories. So it's not about you found a ring and a wizard came along. It's not about how interesting you can make the story. Every story is just as important as the next. Whether you've grown up in a Christian family and you have found out about Christianity through that way, which is the natural way, which is the way God wanted, that is going to be relevant to certain types of people. Don't try and make it relevant to other types of people. You need to just say it like it is. If you've grown up in a non-Christian family, that is the way that God didn't intend it to be, but that is still an amazing way that you have found out about Christianity. You need to say it like it is, and just, don't whitewash it, don't add extra stuff to it. Don't make it about what you gave up for Christ, because it's not about what we gave up for Christ. Christ has given up everything for us. He died for us. It's not about what we gave up for him. So many times I hear stories about, yo man, I went to parties and I slept around with so many chicks and I gave up drugs for Christ. And they tell you about all the good stuff that this world says is good, and they tell you about all that stuff they gave up for Christ, and they just leave it there. They never say how much Christ has given up for us. We've given up an unhealthy, sinful life that is going to kill us in the end. We've given up that. What has Christ given up? His whole entire life for us. Christ has given up more for us than we have for him. So make it about what he has given up for us. So don't change your testimony, your story to try and suit other people. You don't know how relevant and how important your testimony might be to the person that you're speaking to. Make it true and let it come from the heart. So when you're giving your testimonies, remember these things. So we've got another a place you guys can witness, and that is your home. That is your family. You guys can witness at home and family. So does your family know you're a Christian? So these are the same kind of questions that you need to be asking yourself at school. Does your family know you're a Christian? If so, why and how? If not, why not? So as much as you guys are going to hate it, being a Christian is about being a servant. It's about putting others first. When Christ died on the cross, he put us first and put himself last. So we are called to serve. So you guys might have to go clean your room and do your dishes for your parents. I know you guys are going to hate that, but there are so many Bible verses about us honoring our parents. So children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that you may go well with you, so that it may go well with you, and that you may enjoy a long life on this earth. And it goes on and on. Colossians 3:20, children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. 1 Timothy 4:12, do not let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, and in faith and purity. I should have taken a breath halfway through that. So I really want to let you guys know that as a Christian, we're called to be servants. We're called to put others first. Christians do have a very, I guess, in the media, we do have a very bad view about how we sit on our hands and do nothing but read the Bible. In reality, we're complete opposite. Christians are called to go out and to serve and to help the needy. I've never seen a healthy Christian person sit on their hands and read the Bible. They get nowhere in their faith and walk with God. Every single person who's a strong Christian person is someone who by all means reads the Bible, but they do not sit in their hands. They go out and they work and serve others. So I'm telling you guys, at school, you guys are called to be a personal witness about the salvation that you have. So go and serve your school community. Go serve people at home. So I'm just going to leave this off with a couple of tips. So worship team wants to jump up. So a couple of things that you guys got to keep in mind when it comes to personal witnessing. So share your story. This is your testimony, but I don't like using Christian jargon. So share your story. Keep it real. So in pod groups, if your pod leaders are cool with it, this is a perfect chance for you guys to practice your testimony. It does not have to be a 20-minute long sermon. It can be a sentence. It can be 2 sentences. It can be a minute. It doesn't have to be a 20-long-minute sermon. You don't have to make the person go really bored. We are called to serve others. So whatever we do, we are called to be a servant heart. We're called to serve others. And through that, we can show the love of Jesus Christ, the love that God has given us through what we do. Make sure we're praying for our friends. Now, I had the perfect opportunity in our pod group earlier this year that me and Mark will run. So we sat down with our pod boys and we said, you know what, let's pray for someone that we want to invite to youth. So we all came around with some names and we started praying for them and stuff like that. A couple of weeks later, one of the boys who we prayed for, he showed up to youth and he's been here ever since. So make sure you guys are praying for the people you want to come to youth. And in your pod groups, practice your testimony. So I really want to leave you guys off with that. When you go into pod groups, don't leave what you do here on a Friday night just here. Make sure you guys take it out and what you do in the school and at home as well. Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys.